Here we are in the BIRKE Art Gallery. I'm going to take you on a little tour of the 35th Annual Juried Student Show. The first work we're going to look at is by Derek Neal. It is called Hustle and Motivate, and it is a portrait of Nipsey Hussle. The second work that we're going to look at here is a painting of daisies by Carrie Likens. Carrie chose daisies because they remind her of her mother. This drawing, Moods on a Whim, was drawn by KATLYN Ferguson. It's a drawing of her sister, and she wanted to show different aspects of her sister's personality. Now we have Lemons by HAYLEE REGGI. This is a painting done in a grisaille that's grays and whites and black only. Really looking closely at value. Now, you may be thinking, I just saw that drawing. Well, KATLYN's original drawing sustained a little damage in the flooding, and so she made another one. And did KATLYN phone it in on this one? No. Look at that. Masterclass in drawing hair. And I think the hand is even better in this one than it was in the first one. Way to go, KATLYN. Next up is a drawing by Julia PRITT. This is Chloe Redefined. It's a portrait of a friend that Julia has known since high school. And you can see that Julia has focused on the topography. This one is by SOPHIA CELDRAN. She added elements to a found print. Now, this is an installation by PEYTON DOLIN. The juror said I went to school and all I got was a t-shirt, that this piece shows the power of humor, recycled material, and numbers. It is a beautifully crafted installation that draws the viewer in through its presentation. We are asked to interact and reflect on pop culture images and the materials used to make the work. As we laugh and recognize an image or perhaps a shirt, there is a darkness to the humor. We are asked to reflect on the number of people in the world and on our level of consumption. This is the second iteration of I went to art school and all I got was a t-shirt. You might have seen this piece before in the Charles and Norma C. Carroll Gallery in the fall of 2020. This iteration, though, is very different in its presentation. In fact, some of the decisions about how to install the work happened at the very last minute. You're seeing some close-up versions of these shirts now. Oh, and one other thing you might not know if you didn't see the work in its earlier incarnation is that PEYTON actually got a Guinness World Book record for most origami shirts in one place with this work. So if you want to get close to a Guinness World Book of Records holder, look up PEYTON. Next up is a painting by Levi Simpkins. Autumn Brainrot is a self-portrait. And Pool Days by SOPHIA CELDRAN. Mixed media piece made thinking about a swimming pool that was abandoned and recently found. Next is a painting by Alex Simmental. The title is 0000. The next piece is also by Alex Simmental, and it is an excerpt from an audio piece called One Unread Notification. This drawing is by Samantha Taylor. It's called Vigilance, and it is full of personal symbology. Next we have a print by MARLEE KAISER called Just Bark. And a silver gelatin print by Bailey Gruser. Next is 3 works titled Reign of Pestilence. By PEYTON DOLIN, and this mask is actually the one that was photographed in the 2 images that you just saw. It's pretty scary. Maybe a little too close to home. Next up is a piece by Santi Rose, and the juror also commented on Santi's work, saying, "Concussion clearly communicates what many of us have felt over the past year. The weight of the skull creates tension and strikes a precarious balance between 2 objects that are typically used for recreation. Recreation was brought to a halt, and you feel that frozen quality as the rackets stand upright, facing each other blankly as if to ask, how long can we hold on?" Next is a piece by Regan Hagerman. It is Anthracite Overlord, and this piece is one made with mixed media, and Regan is using symbols from folklore to talk about metaphors for the harmful effects of coal mining. Next up is a painting by NOVEED HASAN, and this painting is 48 by 60. It's called Naked in Blue Jeans. And about this painting, the juror says that it brings to mind abstract expressionist painters such as Lee Krasner and Willem de Kooning. The shapes and lines around the head show movement and transformation. Is the figure moving towards or away? We're left to wonder if the figure is looking back and reflecting, or being drawn into the unknown. Meanwhile, we have a work by Michaela Vance called Color Wheel. It's an interesting piece because it's called Color Wheel, but it's all black. Michaela was interested in the idea that black is actually a color that absorbs all of the colors in light. Another painting by NOVEED HASAN, The House That Jack Built. 48 by 60. And a fun little sculpture by Camille Millens. funky little tree man. Painting by Nicholas Cavins called Temperament. When you get up close, the painting has a kind of glittery sheen all over. And this is a monotype print by Barbara LaValle-Benton. And a mixed media piece by Bailey Grosser. You can get up close and look at all the texture. It's a disturbing image. Really well made. Another painting by NOVEED HASAN. And next up, a painting by Barbara LaValle-Benton. It's a still life made for a class, but painted in a really loving way that lets you know that it's not just about the assignment. Drawing by Don Kushner. Windows have such a powerful ability to evoke things like interior and exterior that become metaphors for telling a story that is more than just about a still life. Okay. Sculptural piece by Michaela Vance called Lifelines. The choices that she makes give you clues about how she feels about the people in the images, even if you don't have a chance to read the text or know anything about who they are. It's a good example of the power of the choices that we make about color and shape, organization. This piece was a collaborative by Benjamin Zane Pinson and Sophia CELDRAN. Sophia actually made the form. It wasn't supposed to be like this. It broke, and it was heartbreaking. It was a piece that she really liked, and she was going to throw it away, but then Zane said, "Hey, can I use it?" And he transformed it into what it is now. Another piece by PEYTON DOLIN, Man and His Machine. You can see here the bottom little baby hooked umbilically to a bunch of wire, melting clock evocative of Dali's persistence of memory. PEYTON has constructed a kind of anthropomorphic desert with found objects. And this piece is a self-portrait bust by Levi Simpkins. Interesting contrast between the wild color and the kind of pensive facial expression. Between that and the title, What, one feels that maybe this is a portrait of someone who was interrupted while in thought. Okay, and the last one is a pair of pieces that are actually one piece by Benjamin Zane Pinson. This piece is called Refining the Wall, and it was very important to him that they be presented at the same height and near each other so that one could make comparisons between the two The idea that Zane is working with here is what constitutes refining.